Hi, my lovely people. It has been a roller coaster ride. Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to the Middle Sister podcast where we talk about anything and everything and how we're all figuring it out in between. Don't mind my Grinch pillow. I know it's not Christmas. Okay, y'all already know. Y'all already know. Anyways, this podcast episode has been a nightmare for me. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. It has been such a roller coaster ride trying to film this episode because when I first started this podcast, I had set up like when I do my seasons, I lay out all my episodes and I pick a theme for that episode. And there's been a couple of episodes I've had where I felt the theme didn't fit where I was in my life, so I had changed it. Well, my life had gotten so hectic that filming this episode just did not happen. And then on top of it, when I did try to film, I tried to film this episode 5 times. Five. My most recent time I went to edit it, the audio, it wasn't it wasn't loud like how my usual episodes are, and it was because I had my mic clipped. I understand. I'm always holding my mic and I'm a hand talker. I fully understand. But when I clip my mic, the audio is just not good for you guys. You guys can't hear me. It's too low. So I'm just going to have to hold the mic until I can get a newer, higher quality mic. So that really made me mad. Really, really made me mad because I had the full episode. It was a full episode. It was like 45 minutes. Had to delete all of the footage because it just was not loud enough. You guys couldn't hear me. It wasn't usable. That put me in a tough spot because it meant I had to record this episode all over again when I had already recorded it and gotten it out of the way so that I could edit it. I am putting this episode out really, really late because my life got really hectic. Um, so my uploading dates are going to be all over the place right now because I need to get the rest of these episodes for this season out by a certain date. So my episode posting is going to be quite frequent these next couple weeks. I'm going to try to get as many episodes as I can out so that I'm on track so that when we start season 2, we've got a fresh, clean slate to keep going and keep our journey in the mix. Um for this podcast theme, the one that I had picked, the topic I had just didn't add up with how I'm feeling lately. And I felt instead of doing a set theme where I felt I couldn't really talk about the topic in an inspirational manner or in a listenable manner for a podcast, I didn't feel like it had that because I didn't have a right way to talk about it because it's just not how I'm feeling. And I don't want to talk about how I'm not feeling and be fake like that. I'm not a fake person. I will tell you how it is 100%. And let me tell you, I'm so sorry. My life got so hectic. I completely just forgot about filming. Filming just was the last thing on my mind. I am so sorry, but I'm trying to get back into it and release more episodes for you guys and get back into it. Um so I thought that this episode could be a life update episode, almost a filler episode where we just chat about what's going on in life. So grab a drink if you're thirsty. I've got mine right here with my sparkly cup. I've got some water with a tropical punch liquid IV in it because your girlie needs to hydrate. Um, so grab a drink, grab a snack if you're hungry, and let's get right into this chat. The first thing I want to say is I am really excited for the episode that's going to come out after this because I am getting my first ever co host for an episode. This wasn't a pre planned co host, this was a very much spontaneous. I planned to hang out with a friend, and she was like, let's just do like a day where we're just catching up on stuff. And I was like, yeah, I need to catch up on my podcast, so I'll come over and we'll do some work. And she was like, podcast? Oh my gosh, I would so be down to do a podcast episode. And I told her what the theme for the next episode was, which I can fully talk about. It lines up with my life. and she really liked that theme because she's gone through similar stuff. So I'm really excited for the next episode to come out. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be different. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys enjoy the episode that it's going to turn out to be. I know I'm really excited and I hope it turns out really well. Um, but I'm excited for that. Let's get into what's been happening in my life recently. These past couple weeks, it's been about 2-ish, almost 3 weeks since my last episode was released. Again, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Um, School life got really, really hectic. I had to do a lot of cram studying because I had two AP exams coming up. I had finals in my classes. I had other assignments that I needed to be doing. And then I had all of my graduation planning, all of my grad party planning. I had everything with the podcast. I was just completely overly stressed out, and it was just a lot on my plate, which I don't mind having a lot on my plate because the goal is to eat. Like, why would I not have a lot on my plate? I'm not gonna have an empty plate when I want to eat, you know? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Um, but it just got really hectic and I was busy with school events and school clubs because I had fallen off with my clubs extremely bad throughout the year. I had completely stopped going and I was still in all the club chats and I had to reach out to all of my club presidents and ask them, what I had to do to meet all my requirements to get my senior cords for graduation so that I was in my club participating so that I could get my cord. And that resulted in a lot of meetings, a lot of sellings, a lot of helping. I don't mind any of that. I had a blast helping with all of that. So my book club, we do um coffee and donuts in the morning. And then for my Humanity United Club, we do muffins and teas. So I had 2 days where I had to sell muffins and teas, and then I had 2 days where I had to sell donuts and coffee. And I was with other people when I was doing these sellings, but I had to do 4 of those sellings. And then there's meetings every week that I have to go to. All of my book club meetings are on Monday, and then all of my Humanity United Club meetings are on Tuesday. So the first 2 days of the week, I'm always slammed. So it was just really hard. And then, picking Wednesday as a film day, it just meant that the first 3, 4 days of the week were just so unbelievably busy for me. And with how busy I was getting, Wednesdays and Thursdays were just not good days for me to film and edit. So it just wasn't happening. So I definitely need to revisit my posting schedule for season two because I know season two, the posting will be different because I'll be at a different phase in life. I won't be in school anymore. So I am going to have to revisit and find different posting days. You guys are more than welcome and open in the comments to tell me the best days you think I should post, or the days you want to see me upload, the days you're most frequent on YouTube, whatever that may be. If you have a recommendation for a posting date, hand it over. Give it. I need ideas. I need ideas. I need very much a lot of ideas. Another thing that stresses me out with this podcast, I have no idea what I'm doing for season two yet. I have no idea what the season's going to be called, what it's going to hold, how many episodes it's going to have, how long the episodes are going to be. I have no idea. It's a figure it out when we get there kind of moment right now. But that's everything that's been going on with the podcast. School, I had my 2 AP exams. I did already take them. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I did that well. I'm not allowed to talk about them. So like you guys know how like when you go into school and you take an exam, they tell you like you're legally bound that you can't talk about it because it's like a state test. That's how they do my AP exams. But like I low key don't think I'm gonna get the points for them because my essays that I had to do for them, cut the cameras. They were bad. They were really bad. And like it's really sad because I'm a really good essay writer when I put my mind to it. But the prompts, I was not comprehending the prompts the way that I needed to. So my essays came out really bad. But I think I did really good on the multiple choice questions. but I don't know. And I won't know my like results for my exams until June after I'm already graduated. So stay tuned for if I pass those exams. I'll give you the results when I get them. If I can figure out how to find them. I have no idea how to find the results of my AP exams. I took an AP exam last year and I still have no idea if I passed that exam. I don't think I did, but I have no idea how to check my scores. But Monday when I go back to school, I'm going to try to ask one of my AP teachers if they know how to check so that I can check that one and then hopefully remember how to check it over the summer when I'm already out of school so I can see if I got my points. Um because with those exams, um if I pass a certain pointage on the system, I get a college credit. I'm not going to college, but to have a college credit is cool. um, so we'll see if I pass them. We'll see. We'll see. Other than that, school has been hectic. It's been fine. I got my school yearbook and I've been having people sign it. Um, I had a couple teachers sign it so far and a few friends. There's a lot of signatures in there, but they're all like large paragraphs. Cause like it's my senior year and it's people I've known all 4 years. So they're writing like paragraphs about me. And it's like the funniest thing ever to me. Um, cause like half the time I feel like I'm so looked down upon in my school by a lot of people that I feel like the people I am around don't have nice things to say about me, but I'm always proved extremely wrong. I'm always proved extremely wrong because people can write like essays about me and how nice I am. And I'm like, did I actually do all of these nice things? Like, I genuinely don't remember. My memory is so bad. I have like Dory memory. It's horrible. Like I genuinely don't understand how I've survived this long without memory. Like remembering everything. Like I genuinely don't know. Um but yes, school has been hectic. I've been making actually a lot of new like friends and acquaintances and people cuz like I had prom. I had prom and I made a lot of new friends at prom. And then a lot of people that I used to talk to and hang out with that I didn't anymore kind of like came back and were talking to me. So that was kind of fun. So like now I have like acquaintances that will come up to me at school. But I also printed out a podcast flyer for my school. I designed this like okay, I didn't design it. I'm full on lying right now. I'm so sorry. I did not design my podcast flyer. I went to my yearbook teacher who is really good at designing and I told her I wanted to make a podcast flyer and she made me the flyer. And then I went and tweaked the wording on it. So I edited it. She made it, I edited it. And then I went and got it approved by my school administration to put up. And then I put up podcast flyers all around my school. Well, I didn't think, okay, so I was really smart about it and I put the podcast flyers in the places that I knew people were always looking or always hanging out in. But see, when I did that, it didn't click in my brain that people were going to see it and bring it up to me when they saw me. I don't know why that didn't click in my brain, but it just didn't. So after I put them up, there's been a lot of people either in my classes or random people throughout the school that will come up to me and they're like, "You're that podcast girl, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I Like I genuinely get scared for some reason. And I think it's just cuz I'm not used to being noticed in an internet manner, like a social media manner. Like I'm not used to being recognized that way, especially in my school that I've been in for 4 years that people have seen me in. Like it's just odd. And it's really funny and sweet to me because in my yearbook a lot of the people who signed it had something to say about my podcast. And it was just so heartwarming to me. Like it genuinely almost brought tears to my eyes because I was just so happy that people thought it was a good thing, like a good, helpful thing. And I remember talking to one of the girls at Spring Fling yesterday, Friday. that I helped with, and she was talking to me about my podcast, and she's a grade below me, so her senior year is coming up, and I was telling her, things that I wish I did in my senior year, some tips and tricks, things like that. And she was talking to me about my podcast, and she was telling me that she felt like it was so amazing to see somebody her own age in the same area as her doing something like this because she wanted to do something the same. And those words were just so touching to me because when I started this podcast, that was the feedback I was aiming for, was that it was inclusive. It made people feel like they were seen and less alone, and they could hear someone and feel related to someone that was their age, going through the same things, didn't know what was going on, things like that. That was my main goal, was to make this feel like you were talking to a best friend, a sister. It was a FaceTime call, we were just chatting, and you got something at the end of it, whether it was a new calmness, a newfound thought, some energy to clean your room, whatever it may be. That was my goal for this, was to make you feel productive, to make you feel seen, to make you feel like you weren't the only one in your predicament, because I have no idea what's going on. Life is crazy. I don't understand how I'm graduating in less than a week. I don't understand. Genuinely, genuinely, I don't understand. Anyways, that's how school has been. Life outside of that has been also very hectic. Because when I fell off with my podcast and filming and editing, I also fell off with my other two social media platforms for my podcast, which is my TikTok page and my Instagram page. My Instagram page is mainly for you guys to go and follow, where I will post polls, stories, um like slideshow posts for you guys to see more of the podcast life that I have when I'm not in school, but also so you guys can interact with me about future episodes. If I have a topic I want to talk about, or something's going on in my life, I can post it on there and you guys can see it and see exactly what's going on and how I'm doing my day to day. The same with my TikTok. My TikTok is just videos of you guys seeing my life in between these podcast episodes. That's my goal, is for you guys to see how I'm doing things throughout these episodes. So I fell off with posting on both of those pages when I fell off with recording. And when you fall off on TikTok, TikTok hates you. The algorithm hates you. I was getting a decent amount of views when I was posting like every day, every other day. And then when I fell off, I got stuck in 200 view jail. But it's okay, because if I had to go into a room of 200 people and talk about my podcast, I'd low key be so scared I might poop my pants. Like, genuinely, I'd be so terrified. So, the fact that I am in 200 view jail and 200 people are seeing my videos at a time when I do post, I'm very thankful, because those views add up. Whether I'm getting low views or not, people are still seeing my content and it's getting out there and I'm getting followers. I have a decent amount of followers on TikTok. Like, I don't have 100 or nothing, but I'm getting there. Like, I've got like 70 something. And for the amount of times I've posted, I feel like that's pretty good, because I haven't posted a lot. By any means, I have not posted a lot. I've probably posted maybe less than 20 videos. Less than 20. Probably like 15, honestly, if I'm being honest. I should count. Hold on. We're pausing this right now so that I can count. Copyright, guys. Oh, I have 80 followers! I have 80. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Confetti in the air right now. This is what my podcast page looks like on TikTok. You can see the drafts that I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 23, slightly off. I have 23 videos up. For only 23 videos and having 80 followers, I feel like that's really freaking good. That's just me. But that's where I'm at on my podcast TikTok. And for the 80 people that are following me on there, whether you watch these episodes or you're just along for the ride on my TikTok, I am so beyond grateful for everyone's support on all of my platforms. I'm so beyond grateful. Um, but life's been hectic otherwise. Cause it's like it's not just school and podcast that makes my life hectic. Like I have graduation coming up, obviously, and I have to plan my graduation. And planning my graduation is hectic because I have to prep everything that I'm wearing. So I have my cap and gown. I still need to iron my cap and gown. I want to iron it so that it doesn't look so like crinkly. I might have my downstairs neighbor iron it for me because your girl has never used an iron. I don't trust myself with hot materials. No, I don't. No, I don't. Um, but then I had to get my um Mexican sash. I am Mexican, whether I look it or not. um, and I do try to embrace my heritage and culture as much as I can. Granted, I don't know a lot about it considering I didn't grow up around my Mexican family, but I would like to learn in the upcoming years. Um, but I did get a Mexican sash. It's tan. It has my name on it and 2026. I think it has my school on it. I'm not sure. I forget honestly. But it's like tan and it's got like pastel-y kind of colors. And then of course I have my club cords. I have two of my cords so far. I'm gonna have three. I'll have one for book club, one for Humanity United, and then I was in yearbook, and yearbook gets a cord. So I have a baby blue cord, a purple cord, and then my book club cord is green. So I'll have those colors. And then I made myself a graduation lei. Turned out so amazingly beautiful. For my first time making a lei, I felt it came out very good for myself. Um, if you guys want to see how all that turns out, you guys have to wait until my graduation pictures. Stay tuned. um, but I had to do that, and then I literally bugged my school principal until he said yes for me to decorate my cap in some sort of way because the TUSD policy is just so beyond stupid. If you work at TUSD and you're watching this, your policy for decorating caps, dumb. I hate it. I hate it. And the school staff at my school cut the cameras. They don't like talking to me because I tell them how it is straight to their face. I don't care if they're adults and they're the school staff and they're guarding my school. I'm going to tell you how it is because policies need to change. We're not stuck in the old ways anymore, okay? New improvement. Change the freaking policy, TUSD. This is crazy. So, basically, let me just lay this whole scene out for you. My school puts out a flyer and a deadline for the students to buy their own with their own money cap and gown. You can buy the cap and gown, and you have to buy your tassel. You have to buy your cap, your gown, and your tassel with your own money. And then we can get packages if we want, if we so choose. We don't have to. I personally did not get a package. I just got my cap, my gown, and my tassel. And then I got a photo tassel because I wanted to put my baby brother in a photo tassel because he would have been a freshman my senior year. So sad. Anyways, um, but we have to buy our own cap and gown, right? But we, as students paying for our own cap and gown, cannot alter it in any manner. No, no. We're not allowed to do anything to it, right? And so I didn't want to get in trouble for just decorating my cap willy nilly without asking. I ended up going to one of our vice principals. And when I had asked her, I said, I want to decorate my gratin cap, but I didn't know if it was against policy. And I wanted to just make sure before I went and decorated it. So this is me asking, can I decorate my cap? And she looked me dead in my face and she said, it's against school policy. You're not allowed to decorate it at all. And I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. Your girl does not care. I looked that vice principal dead in the face and I said, bar for bar, that's stupid because I'm paying for it with my own money out of my pocket. I should be able to alter and decorate what I pay for because you didn't pay for it. I paid for it. And I think that's a dumb, stupid policy because if I'm paying for it, I should be able to decorate what I pay for. You didn't pay for it. Neither did the school. I paid for it. So I should be able to decorate it. I just think that's stupid. Bar for bar. Bar for bar, I said that to her face. Mind you, when I said this to her face, I had a witness. The security guard I talked to was standing right there. He watched me say all of this to her face. And she looked me back, dead in my eyes, and she went, well, right. Because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know I clocked your tea because that's so stupid. And she was like, uh, well, it is against policy, and if you decorate it, you're not going to be able to walk the stage. Stupid. Stupid. I stopped that argument before it even got there to an argument right then and there. I was like, okay, okay. Waited till the senior assembly where my principal, my actual principal, was there talking about everything. And then at the end of the assembly, after he went over how we weren't allowed to decorate our caps, again, 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 went over it again. This is the second time they've gone over it with all of the students. After the assembly, I go straight to my principal. You've got me messed up. You've got me messed up. I go to my principal. I walk up to him. He's on the stage in the auditorium. I walk up to the auditorium stage. I'm looking up at him. He comes over, kneels down. He's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "I know that you just talked about this, but I'm going to ask again." And he was like, "It's okay." They said, "Here's my idea. Red glitter. A thin layer of red glitter on my cap. My cap is red. I have a red cap and gown. A thin layer of red glitter is not going to do anything. It's the same color. It's the same color." So I was like, I really think this is my idea right here. This is how I'm going to do it. And he looks at me, looks up for a second. He's thinking, he's like, "You can't do it on the top, but if you do it on the bottom, we can't tell you anything." So there and then is when I said, "Got it, done. You approved it. You told me I could do it. I don't want to hear anything." The principal told me it was okay. So what did I do? Took my butt to Hobby Lobby, got red glitter and Mod Podge, and I decorated my cap. I glittered the freak out of the bottom of the cap. It is so glittery, it's gonna blind you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't care if I'm the only one there with a glittery red bottom, because I'm the only one that asked. To my knowledge, I'm the only one that asked and came up with that idea. Mind you, my friend that I have in school was standing right next to me. She heard the whole thing. I looked at her, I said, "You heard him. He saw you with me. If you do it, he can't tell you nothing because you were right with me when he said it was okay." Did she do it? I don't know. But I did it. I did it. I'm going to show up with a red glittery cap. So I'm actually really happy because all of like the colors on my cap and gown match my outfit. So I have my graduation dress and my graduation shoes. All of the colors, like I genuinely want to float to heaven. It's so good. Like it just all goes together so well. Oh my gosh. And then one of my close friends is making me a flower bouquet out of ribbon with the colors that are my outfit and cap and gown. mind blown. I'm gonna look so amazing. I'm gonna look so amazing. This is my eat down moment, guys, okay? So I'm going all out. All out. All caps. All caps. All of the letters of that sentence, all caps. All out in all caps. Yup. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, but besides all of that, it's come down to my grad planning, like I said. So that's my cap and gown, right? Then I had this wonderful, amazing idea. Boom. Light bulb in my head. I saw this TikTok a very long time ago where it was this girl and she did an order of shirts for her family to wear at graduation that had like the names of who they were to her on it with her pictures on it. So it was like proud mother of a 2026 graduate and had like pictures of her on it. So it, I fell in love with that idea and I showed my parents and I was like, I want smiley face, pretty please. Did it happen? I don't know. Stay tuned. If it looks like I'm in a different outfit and it's a different day, it's because it is and I am. This is live proof in this episode that I'm going to be posting of just how hard it's been for me to film this episode. Yesterday, in the middle of my filming, right where it cuts off right here, in the middle of my filming, my mic died. This mic right here died. And I have two mics. Then I went to plug in my other mic so that I could continue recording. Other mic's dead. God was pushing all of my buttons. So then I had to charge my mics, both of them, because I'm supposed to be going to my friend's house today to film episode 7. So this is why this was all hectic. Was because my goal was to film the entirety of episode 6 yesterday and edit it and publish it yesterday so that I could focus on episode 7 today. But see how none of that's happening? This is what I mean by it's been hectic. This is live proof of what I mean. So, um, I had to, wait for my extra charge, and then I stayed up late because when I'm filming this, it was Saturday and Sunday. So today's Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. It's the Saturday and Sunday of Mother's Day. So yesterday, after filming, while I was letting my mic charge, I got caught up because I spent the entire day cleaning the house, and then I was doing my filming, and then I edited that part of the filming, and then I stayed up late baking for my mom because every year on Mother's Day, I try to bake something I've never baked before for her so that it's more of like an experience. So like my goal basically with Mother's Day every year is for me to find something that I've never baked before that I think she'd like, and then I'll go with her to the store and go over the recipe with her and buy all of the stuff that I need to bake. And then I'll stay up late the night before and I'll bake the recipe. And then if I'm having trouble or if I need some help, I'll have her help me because she's the other baker in the house. So it's more of the experience and the result and us getting to eat the treats rather than, oh, I'm just baking for my mom. So it's more of the experience for both of us. And every year I do that for her for Mother's Day. And so this year, I wanted to try for the first time baking bundt cakes because I personally love bundt cakes. If you've ever been to Nothing Bundt Cakes, the store where they sell bundt cakes, their bundt cakes are so good and like my goal is to get to that goodness. For my first time making bundt cakes, I messed up quite a few times, but they turned out really well. I did overcook them on the outside, so they're like a golden brown, but on the inside they're really moist and they turned out really well. The icing was my biggest struggle. Y'all will not be seeing these bun cakes. I'm sorry. Y'all will have to wait until I remake them and they come out better. But they came out all right. And my mom really liked the cake part of how it came out. The icing was my struggle, so they don't really have icing. But she's showing me how to make a different icing. I'm letting some cream cheese thaw out so she can show me how to make a different icing that hopefully looks and tastes good on the bun cakes. But um that adds to the hecticness of my life and podcast filming. So I stayed up late doing that, and then I passed out after baking because I was up until almost 2 o'clock in the morning baking, and then I passed out after that. So then I didn't film the second part of episode 6. And so then I woke up today, and yes, it's Mother's Day, but on Mother's Day, my mom is usually doing her own thing and spending the day to herself. And I'll usually bake for her so she has sweet treats throughout the day, and then I'll usually like let her be and have her calm day. But that's me doing something for her. So today, after my baking and everything and all of that I'm doing, my friend's doing her roundabouts with her mom and her boyfriend's mom, and then she's supposed to pick me up and we're going to go to her place and film episode 7. So again, adds to the hecticness of my life, but I already told you guys what's going on with school and all of that. The only other part of my life that's been hectic has been the outside part of my life. I haven't been hanging out with a lot of friends, but I did get back to hanging out with a friend that I'm on and off with a lot, which is the friend that I'm filming episode 7 with. Me and her are like on and off because we have two completely different lives. Like, I'm still in school and she's not in school. She's older than me and she lives on her own with her boyfriend. And they do their own thing. So our lives are just drastically different. But because our lives are so drastically different, we end up having so much to talk about. And we don't usually hang out a lot because both of us get so busy. But lately, we've been hanging out on the weekends, mainly like Sundays. Um, and that's been really fun because she is definitely a really good friend of mine that I 100% trust my life with. And it's fun getting out of the house and not being in my room constantly and hanging out with someone different. Um, and I had ended up hanging out with her this one day, and she ended up introducing me to this guy that is in her friend group. I guess this guy was one of the guys that were in the group, and she was telling me that um she wanted to put me on with him and like introduce me to him so I could talk to him. And I kid you not, when this scenario played out, it was honestly the funniest thing ever because she had texted me, and I had at the time she had texted me, I hadn't heard from her for like 2 weeks. And she had texted me, she was like, "Hey, can I ask you something?" And I was like, um sure. Because, like, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a ride or die friend for life. Like, you could literally be my friend and not talk to me for 2 months and come back and ask me to help you with something, and I'm going to do it. It's just the kind of person I am. It's just the heart I have. And so she was like, "Can I ask you something?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" She was like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I was like, nothing to my knowledge. What's up?" She was like, "Well, we're supposed to go to his uncle's apartment to see what it looks like because they just moved in there. And our friend lives with his uncle, and I want to introduce you to." And here is where her open was to tell me anything that could have been wrong with the situation, any hardships. This was her in right here. Now, I'm 5'4", right? I'm not extremely tall for a girl, but I'm not extremely short for a girl. I'm like an average height. But me being 5'4" means that I struggle to find guys taller than me. And all of my friends know I don't like guys that are shorter than me. Like, if you're shorter than me and I have to look down at you, like, I genuinely will walk away. Like, I have to be able to either look eye to eye with you or slightly up. Even if it's like not even a lot up, as long as my head is tilted slightly, that's all I care about. I want to be able to look up at you, not down. Like, this is crazy. So, she knows this about me. And I was like, "Okay, who's this guy?" Because she knows I'm single. She knows I'm skeptical. She's like, "Okay, this might be a problem." I was like, "What?" She's like, "He's short." And I was like, "How short is short? Like, how short are we talking? Like, is he a manageable short, or is he, I'm like completely off limit short?" And she was like, I think he's like 5'7". This was completely wrong. He's not 5'7". He's 5'4", just like me. We're the same height. But misinformation. For a couple days, I thought this man was 5'7". Um, but she was like, "Oh, he's 5'7". I was like, "Okay, that's manageable. That's manageable. 5'4", manageable." I still have to look up at him a little bit because he's like slightly, just slightly, like half an inch taller than me. So I still look up at him. So it's a okay. It's a okay. It's a okay. Um, but this was her in right here when she was saying he was short. This was her in to say anything else. That's all she said. She said he's short. I said okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can work with that. It's okay. And so she starts telling me about him, right? She's like, oh, he's really nice. He has a job. He's ambitious. He's got goals, like everything like this, right? I'm like, okay, okay, cool. I said yes to the plan. We set a date. We set a time. We set a pickup situation. The whole details out. Mind you, I was getting over being sick at this time. And I was telling her that I was getting over being sick and I didn't want to get anybody sick. And he had ended up getting sick right at the same time. So both of us could not see each other because we were too sick, peas in a pod. So we didn't end up seeing each other that weekend. But I had told her, I was like, oh, like if you like, because I guess he kept asking her to introduce me to him. Like he kept asking. And um so I had told her, I said, oh, well, since we're not going to have a meetup for like another week or so, just give me his number. That way I can chat with him. We can get to know each other a little bit before we actually meet. She's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. I'm going to get his number and I'm going to give it to you. Right. This is when she starts to tell me, this might be a deal breaker though. What? What are you talking about, girl? What are you talking about? This is where I got spooked. This is where I got scared because first you said he was short. Now you're telling me that there might be a deal breaker in the mix. And I'm over here scared because a lot of people my age nowadays have got kids. They're like they've got weird situationships, like they've got all kinds of crazy things. So my mind straight went to, if this man has a kid, I'm walking away. That was not the case. Honestly, I genuinely don't understand how she kept this from me in this conversation. But she gets to the end, she's like, this might be a deal breaker though. I'm like, okay, what's the deal breaker? Mind you, I live in a state that is mostly Mexicans who speak Spanish. I'm Mexican, I don't speak Spanish. This is your hint right here to what's going on. She tells me he only speaks Spanish. I'm like, what? How do you expect me to talk to him if he only speaks Spanish? There is a language barrier there. There is a clear and obvious big red language barrier, bro. I was like, genuinely, how do you expect me to talk to this guy? And she was like, it's okay, it's okay. He told me he's fully willing to use the translator app to talk to you. I genuinely I genuinely laughed so hard when she said that because I didn't think that he was serious. Not at all. I did not think he was serious. So, fast forward, she tells me about this situation and I'm like, "Okay, you know what? It's fine. I can do something different. I've never talked to a guy that only spoke Spanish. Like, why not? Why not? Like, why not just add to the lore of my life? Why not?" So fast forward, time goes by. We finally set a date for us to all meet up. So the plan was to go to her house, do some swimming, and then do dinner. So as the days start getting closer to this day, I start freaking out. I start tripping, bro. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never met this guy. He's gonna see me. Like now it's going down to like who's gonna get there first, who's gonna be waiting and watching the other walk in the door, like who's gonna be who. Like I'm scared. And so I start telling her, I'm like, I genuinely like who's gonna be at the house first? Because like if I have to walk in the house and he's already looking for me, like I'm genuinely gonna be scared because that means all eyes are gonna be me when I walk up in that place. And she's like, no, no, no. If you want to come first and have him come second, then that we can do that. And I was telling her, I was like, you know what? Yeah, yeah. I don't want to be the one that walks in. I want to be already there. So I ended up getting there first. And when I got there, I had spent my time with her like talking about like how scared I was because for me it was a new situation because I was talking to him through text before we were meeting up. So I already knew a little bit about him and he was using the translator app to communicate with me through text, all right? Like we both got iPhones, so when he texts me on regular messages, it automatically translates it for him. But and it does the same for me. But like even then, like you gotta pick up words, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like pay attention. Um, but it was just I genuinely don't even know how I pulled this off to be honest. Um, but I get there and I'm talking to her because I was telling her while we were talking and I was getting to know him, I was starting to feel really feminine. Like I was catching myself feeling more of like this soft feminine energy, which is very different for me considering I've never been like a soft feminine person. So anyone who knows me knows that throughout my life, I've always been like a dark colored person, like blacks, grays, dark red, like dark colors. Like the vibe of my glasses for real. Like black and red is mostly what I was growing up. Like for a long time, I had my hair split dyed black and red. That was just who I was, to be honest, for a long time. Um, but I always had like this dark feminine energy more. And as I've been talking to this guy, I've been catching myself feeling more and more like girly feminine, like soft feminine, which is very, very different. Like it's like like a wide contrast because like I was way over here on this side of the spectrum. And then I started talking to this guy and now I'm like way over here on this side of the spectrum. And it's like small changes that I'm noticing, not like big changes. So like for example, I've never been like an avid tea drinker. Not at all. Like I've never really been a fan of tea. But since I've been talking to this guy, I've been loving tea. I love tea right now. I've been drinking a lot of tea. And then like my doing my makeup, I usually do like black eyeliner, black wing, dark lipstick, stuff like that. I'd make my face look really pale. Now I'm like, I really just want to do my eyebrows and like put like a chapstick on and just look girly, which is very different. The same thing with my clothes. So like I've been noticing lately I've been dressing more girly. Like I've been trying to piece my outfits together to look more girly and feminine rather than just I'm gonna throw on a jeans and a t-shirt and sneakers and look like a man. Yeah, haven't been doing that. Been actually paying attention. And then it's like even like with perfumes, like I I usually like a lot of musky scents, but lately I'm like I want to smell feminine. I want to smell girly. I want to smell like I am a woman. That's just how he's making me feel, right? So that's like that was crazy to me. And then when I met him, it was crazier because the way he was treating me was like mind blown. I was like, I have never been treated this sweet before. Because when I met him, mind you, I got there before him, right? So I was touching door handles. I was touching the doors. I was touching the doors. I was opening the car doors. I was doing everything. The minute he got there to the minute I left, I didn't touch the doors. I didn't. He opened all of the doors, or the doors were already open by the time I would get through them. And then when we were walking, if we were walking somewhere, he would not let me walk behind him. He'd put me right next to him and wait until I was right next to him so we were matching our pace, or he'd have me walk slightly in front of him. So I wasn't behind our group, I wasn't in the back, I was always in front. I was always in the safe spot. I was always in the safe spot. So like if I was walking and I got behind him, he would stop and like go to the side and wait for me to catch up to him and get in front of him before he would start walking again. Which I just found so sweet because like I've never had somebody open doors for me. Like my dad, love my dad to pieces. He doesn't pay attention. He just one track mind always. So he doesn't open my doors a lot. Like sometimes he'll open my doors when he's like paying attention. He'll be like, "Okay, here you go, Sophia. Here's your door," and I'm like, "Oh, you're opening my door. Thanks, thanks." But a lot of the time he doesn't open my door, and I'm opening all my doors. So like I'm usually just taking care of myself, opening my doors. So for somebody else to open my doors for me, it felt really nice. And then I'm trying to think of another example. Um, okay, so a few days before I met him, I struggle with eating. I'm very open about my struggle with eating. I'm pretty sure everyone knows my struggles with eating who knows me, but I struggle with eating. It's always been something that I've struggled with my entire life. It's just I haven't found a solution that works for me yet. But I had ended up slipping up and telling him that I hadn't eaten all day one day, and it was like almost 8 o'clock at night, and I hadn't eaten all day. He was like, "You haven't eaten all day?" Mind you, he's like a very big eater, gym goer. So like I genuinely shocked him with how much I eat. And so I when I had slipped up and said that to him, I had told my friend, I was like, abort mission, abort mission. I was like, I slipped up. He's gonna ask me if I've eaten. Now he's gonna ask me if I eaten. And so I told her, I was like, no, I know. The first thing he's gonna say to me is, have you eaten? I know it. So he gets there and he's talking with her boyfriend in the kitchen. And they're looking at me. And I'm looking at my friend and I'm like, they're talking about me. I know it. They're gonna come over here and say something to me. And she's like, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm like, I know so. And I was right. They come out. He comes out. He's got his phone in his hand. He's looking at his phone. He's looking at me. He's laughing because he knows he's gonna mess this up. And I look at him. I start giggling because I already know. I already know what's coming. And he was like, "Have you eaten today?" And I was like, I look at my friend. And I'm like, "Dude, I told you he was gonna ask me this." And I was like, "I've eaten once," because at that time I did only eat once, and it was like early into the day. It was only like 1 p.m. So it was pretty good for me to eat once. And he was like, "Oh, I've only eaten once too." And I was like, "Okay, we chill." And so I was drinking an Olipop, right? And so he starts asking her boyfriend to ask me what I'm drinking. I'm like, "Oh, it's Olipop. It's like a healthy soda." And he translates it to him. And I remember watching him because he looks at me with this prebiotic soda and he's like, "Healthy soda?" He's like what? Like healthy soda? And I'm just like, I gotta be healthy, guys, okay? Like, I'm severely underweight. Like, I gotta be healthy. But so I was laughing at that. And then, so he was opening all my doors. He was letting me walk in front of him. He had asked me if I eat him. And then, we had ended up getting coffee at one point. I ended up getting coffee, right? Mind you, at this point in time, we were with this whole group, right? And, uh, my friend's boyfriend's uncle is who bought the coffee. And so, mind you, it's 4 Hispanic dudes, right? And me and my friend. I'm half Mexican, half white. She's full blown white, right? So basically 2 white girls and 4 Mexicans, right? So we get coffee, and it was only 3 of us that got coffee. It was the guy I was talking to, the uncle, and me that got coffee. And so, of course, out of everyone there, of course, I'm gonna be the only one with an iced coffee. Of course. So when the coffee comes, they come in with the coffee, and the guy that I'm talking to is already holding my coffee. And he knows. He knows it's my coffee. He's looking at it. He's like, "This is an iced coffee. I know this is her coffee." Like, I already knew. I already knew it was my coffee because I know how my coffee looks. But I knew he knew it was my coffee just based on the fact of how it looks. And he looks at his friend. He's like, "This is her coffee, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's her coffee." Hands me my coffee, right? Now, you guys know how when you get a DoorDash coffee, there's a sticker on it? He took my coffee, right? Took the sticker off, then gave me my coffee, right? So I'm like waiting for my straw. I'm waiting for my straw. He gets the straw out, takes the tip of the straw paper off, hands me the straw. I pull the straw out. He takes the paper, throws it away. He prepped my entire coffee. I did not have to touch a single thing with my coffee. All I had to do was stick the straw in and drink it. No one has ever done that for my coffee. I genuinely felt so seen in that moment because, like, Did you really just prep my coffee for me? Did you really just prep my coffee for me? Did you really just prep my coffee for me? And so then he had never tried my coffee before, right? Because when he got his coffee, his was like this chocolatey sweet drink, right? And I'm like a bitter coffee drinker. Like I like more of the bitter coffee. And so I was asking him, I was like, "Are you more of like a sweet coffee drinker?" And he like obviously because I speak English and he speaks Spanish, he looked at me and he's like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Sweet? Like, do you like more sweet coffees than bitter coffees?" And I like pointed to my coffee. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I was like, "Okay." And so then I took the lid off of my coffee. Cause like, okay, listen, I'm not a germaphobe when I know the person and I know where their mouth has been, but I didn't know this guy and I didn't know where his mouth had been. So I took the lid off my coffee and I hand him my coffee and I'm like, "Here, you want to try it?" And he takes my coffee, he takes it, and he's like, "Whoa, that's so good." And I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's like, I know for you guys, you're just listening to me talk about it, but like for me, the images are playing in my head repeatedly, like they're playing over my head, and I'm just like remembering everything, and it's just genuinely making me laugh. But he's like, "Oh, it's so good," and so I was laughing, and I was like, "It is really good," and so I put the lid back on, and so he takes the lid off of his coffee, and he gives it to me. Now mine was an iced coffee, his was a blended coffee. I'm not a huge fan of blended coffees, but I will drink them. So I took his cup and I like had a sip, and I was like, "This is really sweet. This is really sweet." And he was like, "It's good, huh?" And I was like, "It's good. It's good." It was good. I'm just not a very sweet coffee drinker. I like my bitter coffee. So I was laughing. But I thought it was the sweetest thing that he let me try his coffee. The same because he did it right after he tried my coffee. So he waited like I took my coffee and he tried it and then he gave me his coffee for him to try. So it was like really sweet. And then when we had ended up going swimming, I didn't have a towel. And he noticed I didn't have a towel. I did not say a single word to this man about me not having a towel. I was literally just gonna like just I was just like F it we ball. I was just gonna go without a towel and just like hope and pray for the best, to be honest. But he noticed I didn't have a towel. Went and got me a towel. Comes back and he's like, "Here's a towel." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Thanks, thanks. That's so sweet." And so my friend had noticed I didn't have a towel and she went and asked somebody else to give me a towel. And so that guy brings me a towel and he's like, "I thought you needed a towel." And I was like, "No, he gave me a towel." And my friend was like, "Where did you get a towel?" And I was like, "He gave me a towel. He just brought a towel over to me." She's like, "I didn't even know that he gave you a towel. That's so sweet." And I was like, "I know, that is so sweet. He brought me a towel." It was just all so sweet and so kind. And I was like genuinely geeking out because like I had never been treated so nicely. Like this was his first time meeting me, mind you. So this is like to me, I feel like this is bare minimum. For like this being the first time he had ever met me and this is how nice he was treating me, bare minimum, bro. Bare minimum. Like I'm waiting for our second hangout to be scheduled. So when our second hangout comes, I'm like genuinely low key terrified, like in a good way. Because like if that was the bare minimum of him first meeting me, what's it gonna be like the second time he sees me? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking. Because like it wasn't even all that. Like he did all of that, right? And then when we went swimming, he kept convincing me to jump in the pool. And the water was so cold. And so I'm so underweight that I genuinely think I'm anemic. Like, and everybody around me thinks I'm anemic because when I go in cold water or I'm in a cold temperature, mind you, it can be 90 degrees outside and I'm cold. Don't ask me how. It just happens, bro. But so I get really cold. So for me to get into cold water, my body tenses up really, really bad and I start shaking really, really bad. Like to the point where I sound like I'm literally living in Antarctica. It's that bad. And so he kept convincing me to jump in the pool. He kept convincing me to jump in this cold water. And I was genuinely bugging out because it was so cold. But I did it anyways. Um, and then it was just like then the night ended and I went home. And it was just like so overly sweet. Like me and my friend were like genuinely geeking out in the parking lot when I was getting picked up. We were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And we were like, we need to play the cards right. We need to play the cards right. And then it's funny because he'll talk to me about it and he's like, oh, you're just like so beautiful to me. I apologize. Like you're just so pretty. Every time he compliments me, he apologizes for complimenting me. The first time he ever complimented me, I kid you not, bar for bar, he said, I'm sorry for the audacity, but you're so beautiful. The audacity to call me beautiful? What? I was genuinely geeked. I was like, this is so sweet, guys. Like, because I've like in this generation, if you're close to my age or my age, you know that guys in this generation suck. They suck. Like with a capital S, suck. They are not nice. They're not sweet. They suck. It's very, very rare to find a nice guy. So I was like genuinely shocked at like the fact that he would apologize every time he would compliment me. And another thing that I had noticed was he had asked for my Instagram when we started talking. And the moment he took my Instagram, from that day forward, anything that I post on my Instagram, it can be like a slideshow post, it can be a story, it can be a note, anything, anything that I post on my Instagram, he likes it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's me, just me, if it's me and my friends, if it's me doing something, if it's me promoting something, he likes it. He likes all of it. But he didn't go back and like my old stuff. He's only liked what he's seen thus far from him having my Instagram. And I genuinely like the fact that he's showing me he shows up when like on my social media pages that he's supporting me without him saying, because when he took my Instagram and he likes my stuff, he doesn't bring it up to me. He doesn't talk to me about it. He doesn't ask me why I posted what I did or when I posted it. Like he doesn't ask me anything about my posts. He doesn't bring them up. He doesn't bring up my Instagram. He doesn't comment on my posts. Like he doesn't talk to me about it. But he'll go and like it. He'll go into Instagram and he'll see my stuff and he'll like it. The other day I posted a picture of me while I was at Spring Fling and he liked it and then swiped up and told me that I looked pretty. But then didn't say anything to me about it in our regular messages. Genuinely, this man is so sweet. Cause like what? Cause like what? Like everything, liking everything. He likes my notes. He likes my stories. He likes my posts. Everything. Everything. Like I had 3 posts up the other day. I had a post of just me by myself. I had a post with me and my friends, and then I had a post where I was promoting my friend's flower business because she just started making ribbon flowers and she's trying to start it as a business. I was promoting it. I was like, oh, go buy my homegirl's flowers. They're so cute. They're affordable prices. Da, da, da. You can get them for your loved ones, right? And I was promoting it. He liked all 3 posts in a row. Mind you, I posted them in like a day span. He liked all 3 of them. All 3 of them. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter when I posted them. Liked all 3. He genuinely like shows me he's there in like multiple different ways. And it's like mind blowing to me. Because like then it's like my friend and her man, they stay on the grind of picking on me and him about our talking. And so both of them try to like plot on both of us. So like if they just play their cards right, if they just play their cards right, they can do this and they can do that and they can do this. And I'm like, you guys are genuinely so invested in this. Like I feel like you guys think this is your reality TV show right now. Like what? I'm scared. I'm scared. And it's funny because her boyfriend will come to me and he's like, so you gonna invite him to your grad party? You gonna have him come over here? You you gonna do that? And I just look at him and I'm like, get out of my face. Get out of my face with that nonsense. Get out of my face with that nonsense. Because like, okay, listen. I'm the type of person that like, okay, I don't care. I air on my dirty laundry all the time. Everybody knows my life, my stories. I've I've already talked about my relationship history. You guys know. I have a horrible, horrible, capital H, horrible track record with guys. And so when we had one of our first deep talks, I had told him and I was like explaining to him that it would be hard for me to hang out with him because my parents don't know him. And I could easily resolve the situation if I would just let my parents meet him and then it wouldn't be such a big deal for me to hang out with him. But I'm not like I'm making it harder on myself because I don't want to do that. And he like we had our conversation, he was asking me why, and I had told him that I've gone through so much with other people and people not staying around, both friends and boyfriends, that bringing people into my life, I get really skeptical, especially because I have so many of my loved ones that are around. And now I'm getting to the point where I don't want to bring people around that aren't going to stay because my parents have already met so many people. My brother, he's one of the biggest people in my life and he goes through so much. He does not need to see another boy in my life that's not going to stay around when he's focusing on other things. You know, like he doesn't need to be worrying about me and if a guy's treating me right, if the guy's not even going to stay around. You know what I mean? And then I have my sister, and my sister has my niece. And my niece is starting to get up there in age where she's starting to remember people and remember what they look like, where she can remember them if they come around. She's like, oh my gosh, I know that person. I'm not bringing a guy around her that's not staying around. No, 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 no. No, no. Because my niece, my whole heart. She is my whole heart, bro. Like, I love that girl with everything in me, with every single bone in my body, like, even the tiny ones. I love her to death. I'm not bringing any guys around her. It's not happening. It's not happening. No, no, no. And then I have my friend Maria who's pregnant. She's about to have my godson. My godson obviously isn't going to remember who I bring around right now. But I don't want somebody to see me vulnerable with my godson and the new chapter that I'll have with my godson when he is here in September or whenever he is born if he wants to give his mama some more trouble. So I don't want somebody to see that vulnerability of me meeting my godson for the first time and having my godson in my life. Like I don't want somebody to see that vulnerability if they're not going to stay around. And so I was explaining all of that to him. I was telling him like I've got people in my life that are starting to remember the people that I'm bringing around, and I don't want to have people around that aren't staying around. I don't want to do that to my loved ones. I'd rather them see me with somebody their entire life than see me with one person all the time, like just repeatedly different people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want my niece to grow up seeing me be with different guys. I don't want her to see that. I want her to see me be with one solid person that treats me right and I'm with them for the long run. That way, when they're growing up and they're coming to my house and they're coming around me, they're seeing that that person is there and that they're always there, that that person is never leaving. You know what I mean? Like if my niece comes to my house and she's asking me, "Where's my Theo? Where's my Theo?" I want it to be the same Theo, not a different Theo. I don't like I want it to be one person. You know what I mean? So, I was explaining that to him and he was telling me that he fully understands and that he understands how private I am with my life with my family, but he was very different. And he was telling me that he tells his family everything because he was telling me that he was telling his mom about me after he met me, right? And I was asking him, that's I didn't think you were gonna do that. Like, why'd you do that? And he was telling me, after I had our conversation, that he was very open with his family and his family knew everything. And whether we stayed talking or we progressed into something, his family would always know about me. And it warmed my heart a lot to hear that from him, but I'm still skeptical. I've heard that before. I need actions, not words. Thank you. Thank you. Actions, not words. So far, the actions lining up with the words. So, like, I'm getting more comfortable, but not like comfortable enough to bring him around my people. You know what I mean? Because, like, everybody around me, even my mom, keeps asking, if I'm going to bring him to my graduation party or my graduation in general, which is coming up rather quickly. Meaning, if I want him to come, I have to tell him now the dates so that he can plan accordingly. And I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Thankfully, he doesn't know I have this podcast, I don't think, and he doesn't like watch it. I don't think he even knows that I have this podcast. So I know you're not watching this, but if you somehow find it weeks, years, days later after this episode, hi, hi, hi. You won't really be able to understand since I'm speaking English unless you put the Spanish subtitles on, but hi. um, but that has been another element of my life that has been hectic. So throughout the couple of weeks that have been besides this episode, because shortly after the last episode that I posted that was up, I met him. Shortly after that episode, I had met him. So since then, I've like been talking to him every day, and he's learning more and more about me and whatnot. And you know, I'll keep you guys updated on what happens. I'll keep you guys updated because I have no idea what's gonna happen. To be honest, I have no idea. It's like, cause I had even asked him, like, cause I didn't know like what his intentions were at all. Like I didn't know like what he was looking for. And so I was having a conversation with him about that too. And I was telling him, like what do you want out of this situation? Because we could be wanting two completely different things. And he was telling me, like, well, your friend already told you that I'm looking for a girlfriend, so I'm looking for a girlfriend. And I was like, okay. And he was telling me, like that he wanted me to pick where the situation was going because it was easy for him to respect my decision. And I would like at first I was like iffy because I was like, well, why do I have to have the intention? But I get it. I get it where he's coming from because he already knows what he wants. He's just letting me pick the pace of where we're going. And um I had told him, like I like talking to you. I like where this is going. I like our conversations. I want to get to know you better and see where this could go, but I'm very like closed off. It takes a lot to convince me that someone's going to stick around. So I'll just lay that out there. Like I'm not easy to please by any means. I'm very hard to please nowadays. Um and he was telling me, he had said he had said, "Well, you don't have to worry about that because I'm never leaving." And again, warmed my heart, but I've heard that before. I've heard that before. I've heard that before. You gotta show me you mean it. But that's where everything has been with my life, with where I am in my love life, where I am in school, where I am outside of school, where I am with the podcast. Everything has just been so hectic, but everything is falling into place. And I really like how it's all falling together. I felt like my puzzle was pretty jumbled. I felt like it was all in the container and I just didn't know where any of the pieces were. But now I feel like the whole border is completely pieced together and it's like slowly coming together. Slowly. Like I like where all the pieces are falling into place. But that's really the update I have for you guys. That's where I am. Um Tell me where you guys are at in your life in the comments down below. Tell me when you're graduating. If you are watching this and you're from a different school than I am, or you're even in the same school and you're just a grade below me, tell me when you graduate. Tell me when you graduate, what year. If you're graduating this year, are you excited? Are you scared? Are you sad? Have you hit the crying phase? Because I have. I cry about like everything lately. Um, Tell me what's going on in your guys' life. I want to know. I want to hear your guys' side. Um, but yeah, everything I have for all of you guys today. So, enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know if this will be out later today or another day, but whenever you see this, I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope everything in your day goes well. Love you, lots of love. Yep. Um, you guys are the best supporters in the world. I thank you guys so much for being here for this journey. But that is my life update, and I will see you guys in episode 7. I hope you guys enjoy it.